Today we are transplanting some sweet corn into our sweet corn field. Stick around if you want to see how we got it done and if you want to see a helpful tool that we came up with to get this job done a little bit more efficiently. So today we are transplanting sweet corn into a little sweet corn patch that we've started over here. We're going to do 2 sweet corn patches this year. This variety of corn that we are transplanting today is called Luscious, and we do have another variety of corn called Northern Sweet that we will be direct sowing into the field later. We're trying to stagger our crops and we're trying to see which variety we prefer. We did grow this variety last year and it did well, but our stalks didn't get too big and neither did our ears. So we'll see. We mended the soil a little bit. We'll see if that changes it. We are planting those fields about 400 feet apart to hopefully avoid cross-pollination to keep our sweet corn nice and sweet. It's recommended to keep them 250 feet apart, so I think we should be good hopefully in our spacing on how far apart they are. To get this job done, all we did was we popped our little corn starts out of a tray. They were all in these 72 cell trays to get us started. And then to get these planted, what we decided to do was make a jig so that we could get the corn in pretty straight rows because we don't have a tractor implement to plant this. This is kind of a small time cornfield compared to the big time ones, of course. So our jig that we made is this long board you can see right here. It's actually made out of some scrap trim that came out of our house. You could make it out of any scrap though. And to do it, if you come over here and look, there are little marks every foot apart, these little black marks. And what we did is we just lined it up with the previous row. So this is lined up with the previous row. This is 2 feet right here. And then we lined it up and we went through and we punched little plug holes with this little stick that is whittled down to about the same size as what comes out of the tray. And we just went down real quick and punched it all in, as you can see in the time lapse, and popped them in the ground. The reason we decided to go with this spacing is due to the package recommendation, and we are not planning on spraying it, so we want to be able to get in here and get some of these weeds out of here. When we do get weeds in here, because we will get weeds in here, our plan is to put the cultivating attachment on the weed eater and be able to go down these rows to kind of disturb any of those weeds once they germinate. Then we plan to mulch this with some straw or maybe old hay or something, because this is partially in a hayfield.
After we got the sweet corn plants transplanted, we did direct sow the remaining part of the field with seed. This year we started 11 72 cell trays of sweet corn in the greenhouse. And you may be wondering why in the world we did this in the first place. Well, there are 2 reasons we did this. The first is the fact that we wanted 2 distinct crops of sweet corn. And the second reason is that our soil temperatures don't usually warm up until a little bit later in the season, and corn needs really warm soil temperatures to germinate. After we finished this, there was still some seed left, so I decided to germinate the rest of the sweet corn in the greenhouse. Having some extra plants on hand will be a nice backup just in case some of those seeds we put out in the garden don't come up.
So last year when we went to transplant this way, our roots were a little bit too big, and it's really about finding that sweet spot with how big they are, because we had a second crop last year that did a lot better and it was just started at the right time. We started these about 3 weeks ago, and for our plants, with the conditions that they've been having, they are ready to get into the ground. We found that popping them out of the trays, the easiest way to do it is to have them a little bit dry. When they're too wet, too moist in there, they're not coming out super easy, and we're kind of disturbing the roots, and hopefully they do okay and they take. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you'd like to see how this field progresses and how things around here are going, please like and subscribe to see more.